Coming up on Mountain News this morning, people across the U.S. remember the thousands of lives lost during the deadliest terror attack on U.S. soil. And here in the Commonwealth, people take time out of their day to remember that tragic morning and honor the lives that were lost.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning, I'm Chas Gayhart. It is 6:01 on Monday, September 12th. Let's go back over and check in with Brandon, who has you have some nice things to tell us this Monday morning.
I do have some nice things to tell you for a change.
Yeah.
Instead of just, the same old song and dance dreariness. But this morning, unfortunately, still the same old song and dance. For now.
Not long.
That's right, not much longer. Let's take a look, see what's going on out there right now on satellite radar, and you'll see a few little spotty showers still drifting through parts of the region. Now, I know there's a lot of green showing up there. Not all that is reaching the ground, or it could be just sprinkles. Areas that have yellow and darker green, those are probably coming down there just a little bit, so continue to be careful out there. Also some fog and also a cold front coming through, but it's not all the way through the region, so these temperatures are going to continue to drop all the way through about 8 or 9 o'clock this morning. So our low probably won't be till 8 or 9 o'clock. So keep that in mind there. 60s across a big chunk of the area. Dew points are still high, but they're getting lower back out toward central and the western parts of the area there across our region. So hang in there just a little bit longer. A little extra on your coffee meter, because even with the dew points a little higher, still a bit chilly out there in some spots this morning. And the next dozen hours, well, the donut forecast is going to be pretty nice there as we head deeper into the day. Still gloomy through lunchtime as we see temperatures eventually get back into the low 70s for daytime highs and much more comfortable conditions by this afternoon. Chas?
Thanks, Brandon. On Sunday, the nation marked the 21st anniversary of the 9/11 terrorist attacks by honoring the nearly 3,000 lives lost on that tragic day. At the September 11th memorial in New York City, family and friends read the names of their loved ones. While at the Pentagon, President Joe Biden attended a wreath-laying ceremony where he paid tribute to those killed there. President Biden also shared what he sees as a greatest lesson learned from that day.
We regain the light by reaching out to one another and finding something all too rare, a true sense of national unity. To me, that's the greatest lesson of September 11.
Before he traveled to D.C. Sunday, President Biden told reporters he had a plan for the families of 9/11 victims who are still seeking justice, but he didn't elaborate. More than 20 years after one of the worst tragedies in U.S. history, many still reflect on the lives that were lost on 9/11 and the way Americans came together in the days afterwards. WYMT's Alyssa Williams was at the Patriot Day Tribute in Laurel County to hear the stories of those who lived through that day.
Countless first responders across the region gathered for the 9/11 Patriot Day Tribute at the Laurel County Fairgrounds on Sunday.
But the first responders and stuff pulled out to come together like we always do. And this is why I do it. It's the unity. We're brothers and sisters. I don't want them to forget, ever.
Through the festivities, attendees were able to hear the personal stories of those who experienced 9/11 firsthand, like that of New York native George Colella.
I felt the ground shake, and then I heard the explosion. When I looked out the window, I saw paper flakes. Looked like paper flakes, but that was the aluminum off the building.
Colella was working as an electrician on the 7th floor of the World Trade Center when it was attacked. And although he deals with PTSD to this day, he says nothing compares to how everyone came together on 9/12.
Everybody was carrying flags. Everybody got along, no matter whether you were Democrat, Republican, and whatever you were.
This is a feeling the event's coordinators, Michael and Cynthia Peters, wanted to emulate for the Patriot Day Tribute.
When 9/11 happened, it was the worst day in American history, the biggest tragedy that ever happened. But 9/12 was the greatest day for America because everybody come together.
Peters says he hopes honoring those who pay the ultimate sacrifice will be his legacy.
When you bury me, you keep doing this.
You know I will.
I hope, because we're going to help. We're going to help people. That's all I care about is honoring. We want to honor those that we lost and praise the ones that are still here.
In Laurel County, Alyssa Williams, WYMT Mountain News.
Michael and Cynthia Peters also used the event as an opportunity to fundraise for the Shop with a Cop program, along with other charitable causes and organizations related to first responders. And people lined up outside of Kroger Field in Lexington last night to join a stair climb to honor first responders who lost their lives in 9/11. They each rang a bell and announced who they're walking for. Joseph Minogue was a New York firefighter who was there to help on 9/11. He says he comes to events like this to keep the memory of that day alive.
Stair climb goes to help so many people that we need to participate in that, helping people. You know, we have to remember what happened, not dwell on it, remember it, and pay the story forward.
Firefighters and first responders put on their gear to make the climb. The Lexington Fire Department and other first responders say they're grateful for the people who came out to support and remember those who lost their lives on 9/11. People here in the Commonwealth lost loved ones on September 11th. In Lexington, the uncle of a man who was working in the World Trade Center who died in the attacks honored one of his family members. 21 years later, Peter Barris remembers his nephew Paul Sloan and is reminded of him daily by photos framed in his living room.
He was, according to all the everyday people in his life, the nicest kid they came across. So the cleaner that he would take his clothes to, the doorman, everybody wanted to talk about what a decent person he was.
Paul studied history at Brown University. He was an offensive lineman on the school's football team and was a passionate San Francisco Giants fan. Those who knew him say he was a friend to all. A University of Kentucky professor is facing sexual abuse charges. Kevin Real, the chair of UK Department of Communications, is accused of sexually abusing a child under the age of 12. According to the Kentucky Colonel, police arrested him on Thursday. UK spokesperson Jay Blanton said the school is taking the issue very seriously. Real is on administrative leave and is not on campus. He's charged with incest, sexual abuse, and sodomy. A preliminary hearing is set for October 7th. Saturday was a day for breast cancer survivors in Louisville and a day to remember those who have lost their fight. People came together for the Kentucky More Than Pink Walk, raising money for Susan G. Komen and breast cancer research. Stacy Scoviner volunteered for the Komen years ago in memory of her friend. Then she was on the other side of things, fighting her own battle with breast cancer.
I'm very big about helping other people who are affected by this. I know exactly what they feel now. I know when someone's saying you're having a bad day, now I totally understand, because it's very hard to overcome this and say who you are as a person now, not just a breast cancer survivor, but I still want to be Stacy.
Scoviner says there's still a lot of misconceptions out there about breast cancer, so she's happy events like this help raise awareness. A routine check of donated goods has unexpectedly turned up a couple of wartime letters in Kentucky. An effort is underway to try to locate any relatives of the serviceman who wrote them 80 years ago. John London has the story.
The words are from 80 years ago.
I was very glad to receive your letter before I leave here. Not that I know where or when I'm going.
Lost sentences that have surfaced fresh as part of America's story. You can imagine how anxious we all are, he writes, to know what's going to happen to us. Letters home from a war, one written at sea.
You'll hear from me as soon as I am located someplace else, which I hope is soon. Yeah. Yours till I hit an ocean front, Bob.
Oh. The other mailed 4 months earlier from the Naval Training Center at Great Lakes, Illinois. This distinctive box was among the donations at the Goodwill store in Bellevue over the Labor Day weekend. Inside were 2 letters addressed to Miss Elizabeth W. Smith at a P.O. box in Bristol, Pennsylvania, written by Navy seaman Robert Ballantyne, gunner's mate 3rd class aboard the USS LST-385. Sue Burrison happened by as Michael Flannery was relating to us what he has found out so far.
And the ship was part of D-Day.
The folks at Goodwill Industries do not know how the letters to a suburb of Philly ended up in northern Kentucky, but they're trying to find out.
And something like this, the family would want. You know, you'd want the grandson to be able to hold his grandfather's letter and read his words.
Hope you'll excuse the delay in answering your letters. Glad to hear you had such a nice Christmas.
I have a swell beard. You ought to see it. Till next time, love, R.A. Ballantyne.
Goodwill is looking for Ballantyne's next of kin to have the letters returned to them.
Awesome story. I hope they find those family members pretty quickly. It's 6:11 coming up on it anyway here on this Monday morning. Hopefully you're seeing not too much going on in your area, but it's still a bit foggy in spots and still a bit muggy in spots. Also a few spotty showers out there. Not spotted showers. That'd be a little bit interesting there. Spotty showers out there this morning. WWII seeing some of those spotty showers, maybe some fog or low-hanging clouds. Hard to tell on that picture right there, but they're in the 60s. 62 in Clintwood, 63 NY, 66 though Jackson, Hazard, Manchester, 68 in Jacksboro, 67 in Prestonsburg. Those are the areas that cold front has not made it through just yet. Once it gets through there, it's going to be a much nicer afternoon as skies gradually clear. Dew points will go down and temperatures will top out in the low 70s with some sunshine a little bit later on today. Jazz?
Thanks, Brandon. And thank you for joining Mountain News this morning. More news is on the way. Coming up, the UK begins a full week of mourning after the death of its longest reigning monarch, Queen Elizabeth II.